Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
Any David Davis fans out there? David Davis is like, I don't know who I would equate him. I guess he gives me like a Lincoln Chafee vibe just looking at him, but he was like an SAS guy.
Okay.
I don't know. There's really no one on the bench. Everything's fucked.
Jacob
like we said.
Rees-Mogg. Jacob Rees-Moog. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah, that guy's
the
awesome.
guy with the nanny. The guy with the nanny.
The 17 kids, and they're all named after popes, like Sixtus and shit. Innocent.
Yeah.
Wait, a Catholic prime minister? I don't know about that.
It's actually, I think it might still technically be illegal. They might, if they changed it, it's like within the last decade. But it was like legally, Catholics were legally prohibited from getting the crown, which they still are, but also from being prime minister.
And like I think, if you look, like there's a lot of old heads out there right now saying, "Oh, like Boris is nothing like John Major, or you can't compare Boris Johnson and John Major." Shut the fuck up, old head. Yeah, you stop. You still, you just stop caring about new shit in the fucking 80s.
You know what's fucking disgusting?
John Major, he was like, he was a prime minister, and he was like, boom, bap, we do the clap. Like that shit sucks. That shit sucks. Boris Johnson, like, he's not lyrical. It shit doesn't matter. He's originating new shit.
What was dope about John Major, whether you like his music or not, is he felt everything. That's exactly why the kids today resonate with Boris. That's exactly it. And you know what's fucking disgusting? You know what I can't fucking stand? When the fucking media goes up to Chris Pitcher and goes, accused molester of men, Chris Pitcher. It's so fucking wrong to boil someone down to the worst thing they ever did. Would they say that about a guy who succeeded in the business world? I don't think so.
It's so fucked up. I hate everything.
Yeah. Where's our guitar slave? To sing God Save the Queen. The guy we found in LA who plays acoustic guitar.
He's our friend. He's our friend who's going to do some dope shit. This one's for Boris. Play us out.
Yo. God Save the Queen. How would Lil Xan sing it?
God Save the Queen, y'all. A fascist regime. There ain't no future, and England's dreaming. What? That's my impression of Little Xan.
Anarchist.
Xanarchy in the UK.
We should, if we all like live in the same place again, we should recreate the Mom's Basement set, and like that's where we should record.
But call it Boris's Basement.
Yeah, we like make it.
No, call Boris's Boozer.
Boris's Basement. Yeah,
Boris's Boozer.
Yeah, and we can. Well, you guys could drink like the warmest beer ever.
I'll just be drinking piss. I'll be drinking my. Yeah. I'll be retaining semen and drinking my own piss.
Maybe they'll invent the new pancreas by that time, and I can finally have some nice like sub-boiling British beer.
Just a low simmer.
Yeah. Well, that'd be nice.
So in his farewell speech today, Buck Broken Boris finished his words by saying, "I'm very sad to give up the best job in the world, but them's the breaks.
These are the breaks."
Ooh, okay.
What class? What songfreud? What a stiff upper lip? How could you not respect this man eternally?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I once again, I'm at a loss for words. I have nothing else to say that hasn't been said a million times before. All I'll say is fuck the world. I feel like shit. Just back Boris. Back Boris.
Yeah. Back Boris.
Back Boris.
Anywhere we could find him. He could like New York City Council. I don't know.
We like
mayor of Denver. We got to find something for him.
Yeah. It just, you know what? It really is like hard to do this show sometimes. Not in the past 2 weeks. There's been no news event that like really depressed me for anything. Not really like this year at all, frankly. Nothing that really like depressed me or anything. But days like this, this is the saddest news story of the year, I would say.
Yeah. How are you supposed to live knowing that a big, beautiful boy like Boris can't be allowed to just, put his thing down and vibe without this army of just little assholes, these small-minded nabobs undermining him at every point until he can't defeat them anymore.
The nattering nonsense of negativity.
Yeah, it's sad.
I mean,
we'll
like,
all
what can
float
I say?
on.
Yeah. I would like to say, keep retaining your semen unless you're Boris Johnson. Spread it as far as possible. We need a new lineage. We need a new bloodline.
Yeah, it's like we always say: pints in, COVID sorted, happy days. We hope that one day again we will have happy days in this great United Kingdom. And by United Kingdom, we mean the merger of America and the UK and New Zealand. We're getting that woman out of there.
And Canada.
Gone. Yeah.
Canada.
Justine Trudeau is
gone.
Gone. All of that. Australia coming back. Who's the like prime minister they got rid of in 1975? Go something.
Goj Whitlam. Yeah.
They already don't. Yeah.
On behalf of us, they did a coup. Yeah.
They don't have sovereignty already.
No, it's a joke.
Like, yeah, let's just formalize this thing.
It's wild. So that happened. Like Australia. So one of the reasons that these countries allow the queen to be their technical head of state is that it's supposed to be ceremonial, right? They've got the governor general who hangs around the capital, but they don't really have any say in government. But then in the 70s, they had this relatively, for Australian standards, left-wing prime minister, and then they just have the CIA says no, and then the governor general's like, yeah, no, he's not prime minister anymore, and just letting everybody know, oh yeah, if we want to, we can crack the whip on you and make your entire democracy fake. And then like 10 years later, they had a fucking referendum. Hey, do we get rid of the monarchy? And they were like, nah, let's keep it. We love it. We love the queen's. We love her stern embrace. We love being chained up like dogs to her.
I think the Senate parliamentarian should really look into this, and tomorrow and just come out and said, I've looked at the rules, everybody, and Boris Johnson is now king of America.
Yep.
I'm sorry, those are the rules. We have to follow them.
It's a clear interpretation of the
Senate
clause.
It's me, the Senate parliamentarian, declaring Boris Johnson king of America.
Yep.
It's in the Constitution. It's just simply these are the rules we have. We have to follow them. So I mean that's the way out. That's the way out. But will anyone be brave enough to do it? That's the only question I have. And I got nothing else to say. Just fuck the world, back Boris. That's what I'm about now.
The old world is struggling to be dead. The new world's struggling to be itself. And now we live in a time without Boris.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up our emergency podcast on the darkest political day in really all of Western history. Oh, yeah. And James Caan is dead. So,
R.I.P.
Like to say real quick, R.I.P. to a true legend, James Caan. If you haven't seen Thief yet, watch it now. Watch it again. It's a masterpiece. It's the only masterpiece ever created by any human being. So yeah, R.I.P. Boris, R.I.P. James Caan. And the sort of post-coup election and the government of Luis Arce and the MAS party. I want to get to Bolivia, but first I'd like to begin in Mexico because you've been doing a lot of reporting on sort of how the disruptions to the international energy market has created some sort of antagonisms between both the U.S., the EU, and the government of Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. So I'd just like to begin with, can you talk a little bit about how oil politics and the Russia-Ukraine war is sort of putting AMLO's political ambitions sort of in the crosshairs of the U.S. and EU at the moment?
Thanks, Will. Thanks for having me on again. Big fan of Chapo Trapa, so it's nice to be on. But I think there's been a long conflict between the United States and the EU and Mexico that precedes the Russia-Ukraine war, and that is based largely around the fact that the president of Mexico, ever since his election campaign, has wanted to sort of take back national control of the energy sector, and wants to build Mexico to have his own oil refinery, for example, because Mexico is in the crazy position in which it has lots of oil, which it sort of extracts as crude oil. They send it to the United States to be refined, and then they buy it back from the United States at obviously a much higher price for gas, for people's cars, and for cooking, etc. So basically, Mexico's losing money on its own natural resources. So the president said, we need to build our own refinery, refine our own resources here, and then we can, to use it ourselves and to sell to the world. And obviously that cuts out the US from the market. The other project he's been pursuing is the nationalization of the country's electricity grid, which is currently owned by mostly Spanish corporations. This is where the EU has become upset in the past year because the law was passed last year for the nationalization. And so from there, you've seen a load of op-eds in, for example, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, talking about the creeping authoritarianism going on in Mexico and democracy is dying in Mexico. If you actually click on these articles, the evidence of this creeping authoritarianism is usually like, President AMLO like insulted this journalist at a press conference and called him like a liar or something, and this is part of the attacks
That's creeping. That's creeping authoritarianism, Ollie. It's
Exactly.
very dangerous when we have elected leaders calling journalists liars. That sounds like Trump to me. I don't know. I know to an example of you're talking about. I remember it was like a month or two back. I saw a headline. I think it was The Economist or maybe Newsweek that was accusing AMLO of economic warfare, economic nationalism, because Mexico was going to buy an oil refinery from Shell, who was more than happy to sell it to them.
No, it was better than that. Again, I can't remember which outlet, but they called it as economic imperialism.
Economic imperialism, yes, yes, yeah. You're right. That is even better. Economic imperialism. But yeah, I believe like Mexico is like one of the biggest like exporters of oil to the United States. It's like a hugely important relationship between the United States and Mexico as it relates to oil. But we're seeing now like AMLO's political ambitions and agenda. Like, how is that being received in Mexico? Like, what is his how is the success of his administration and his party relate to like these plans to nationalize their oil infrastructure and electricity grid?
Yeah, that's something that's not ever talked about in all of these, column inches that are given to talking about Mexico in international media. I'd say Andrés Manuel López Obrador is almost certainly the most popular president in the Americas in terms of approval ratings. He has approval ratings haven't really dropped below about 70% since he was elected. A lot of these journalists basically don't know why. A lot of these like foreign correspondents, they literally post on Twitter saying, how can, after this and this and this, how can this be? How can he have approval ratings between 60 and 70%? Of course, I think there is, a lot of people I work with in Mexico and speak to, they would have their own criticisms of what's going on. A lot of people say that change hasn't been rapid enough in terms of what was promised during the campaign. He hasn't yet gone through with the nationalization of these natural resources that was promised 2 years ago. The change of pace has been quite slow. However, I think the strength of the attacks against him for these sort of imaginary things as being part of what has kept his support quite solid. And the fact that Mexico's, for the first time in a very long time, despite every party in Mexico having a kind of nationalist discourse, is the first one that appears to be beginning to put into effect. And I mean, just certain other things like the minimum wage has risen faster under President AMLO than any other period. That's got him a lot of popularity. He has huge support amongst elderly people. I've got a friend, a journalist in Mexico, who's she's quite critical of President AMLO, but she said her family are fanatics because her grandmother's pension was raised, and they're just fanatics now of President AMLO, and it's these sorts of things that have his popularity are like between 60 and 70%, definitely no lower than that. And it's a shame because Mexico's constitution, there's a thing you can't go for re-election. You can only ever serve one term.